All right. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. I am the Pit Messiah, your host for the Quiet Storm London session for October the 14th, 2025. Let's go ahead and get straight to the charts. All right. First things first, we've got a buy on Basic Attention Coin. Sorry, didn't realize I had a window of YouTube open. Close that. We're at 0.236. It's going to be what we're heading for. This will be a market execution buy on a 15-minute confirmation. Go ahead and grab the parameters for this and spit it out into the chat. One moment. Now, oddly enough, we already have a win on Basic Attention Coin for the week. It just gave us a second go at it, so we're going to take it. Right, entry price at 19.56. Stop loss at 18.19. For 137 pips. Take profit at 23.60. And it's 404. And risk reward of 2.95. All right, here's the first call of the night. Basic Attention Coin. This is a 15-minute confirmation. A market execution buy. The entry price is 0.1956. The stop loss is 0.1819 for 137 pips. And the take profit is 0.2360 for 404 pips. A risk to reward ratio of 2.95. That is Basic Attention Coin. You can find that on Liquid Brokers. The link to that broker is in the description to this video. All right, we have a buy on Platinum. It's going to be a long to 1698.157. Platinum is a precious metal. This is more heavily weighted than a regular currency pair, so be careful on your leverage on this. Unless you have at least 10K in your account, the 0.01 should be more than enough for Platinum for you to make quite a pretty penny. All right, so this is going to be a buy, but it's on the 30-minute confirmation. Entry price is going to be 1644.097. Stop loss is going to be 1624.651. And that's for 19,446 pips. Take profit is 1698.157. And that's for 54,060 pips. 2.78 risk to reward ratio. It's going to be your second call of the night. This is XPT USD. This is Platinum versus US dollar. So 30-minute confirmation, market execution buy. Entry price is 1644.097. Stop loss is 1624.651 for 19,446 pips. Take profit is 1698.157 for 54,060 pips. And a risk reward ratio of 2.78. You can find that on both Liquid Brokers and LHFX. Both of those brokers can be found in the description to this video. All right, we've got a buy on PL1. That's the futures on platinum. I'm going to be going long to 1726.8. This again is a 30-minute confirmation buy. Risk reward ratio is 2.82. Entry price 1670.6. Stop loss 1650.7. That's for 199 pips. Take profit is 1726.8. That's for 562 pips. And here's your next call. This is PL1, 30-minute confirmation. Market execution buy. Your entry price is 1,670.60. Stop loss is 1,650.70 for 199 pips. Take profit is 1,726.8 for 562 pips. And a risk reward ratio of 2.82. We'll find this future on Top Step X. Top Step X. All right, so in the meantime, we're going to go back to taking a look at Bitcoin, tracking this on very low time frames because I'm interested in the micro moves of it recovering over time, which it was doing up until the start of the Asian session last night. So it's broken the bottom of the Asian range. I do expect that to crest off, which it has done. So it should be recovering now to pull back into the Asian range. I expect that to accelerate at the top of the hour. That's 3 a.m. in the morning, because for European markets and for the Asian markets, that is a 4-hour candle. It staggers 1 hour off of the American and Canadian markets. Now, we also do trade futures in addition to other asset classes. Trading data on futures is on a 10-minute time delay from the rest of the market. So even though we take a cadence every 15 minutes, there are some times that within that 15 minutes, we can get futures calls. So that's how that works. Stocks were different, but it was a U.S. bank holiday yesterday. So the stock markets were closed. That reverses itself today. So unlike last night, where it was a very, very slow day for the New York session, which we'll do later this morning, It's going to be much quicker today. So for London, we'll go to 4 a.m. Central Standard Time, and then we'll take a break and come back for London from 7:30 in the morning until 10 a.m., the closure of the London market. All right, do we have... Yes, we do have a buy on this. And we're going to take this on a buy to 80661. This is United States dollar to Swiss franc, a major currency pair. So it's going to be a buy. USD CHF, 15-minute confirmation. Entry price is 80345. Stop loss is 80266. It's going to be for 8 pips. Take profit is 80661 for 32 pips. Risk to reward ratio of 4.00 even. Next call of the night. This is a buy USD, US dollar versus Swiss franc. 15-minute confirmation, market execution buy. Your entry price is 0.80345. Stop loss is 0.80266 for 8 pips. Take profit is 0.80661 for 32 pips. Risk reward ratio of 4.00. You can find this on both Liquid Brokers and LHFX. Both of these brokers can be found in the description to this video. All right. Not doing so bad so far. 4 calls for the night. Again, we have a buy on basic attention coin, a buy on platinum, a buy on platinum as a future, and a buy on United States dollar versus Swiss franc. It's now 2:20. Next opportunity to enter the market will post around 2:30 a.m. Around 10 minutes from now. Good time to grab something to drink and head on back. I'm about to get some water myself. I'll be right back. So one thing I did not do that I normally do before I start a session is take a look at news. I did briefly look at this last night. Let's see. We have comments by the chairman of the U.S. Federal Reserve, Chairman Jerome Powell, at 11:20 a.m. Central Standard Time. Kind of a weird time. That's immediately followed by comments from the governor of the Royal Bank of England, Governor Bailey, at noon. That's right at the start of lunchtime for the U.S. Stock Exchange. So those are the two major news items for the day. We do have comments by 3 other members of the U.S. Federal Reserve and a member of the governing council of the Royal Bank of England. So a few comments that might actually move the market, particularly for the afternoon of the S&P 500, the NASDAQ 100, and the Dow Jones Industrial Average. So depending on what's said, that may spark some movement here. And mind you, a lot of this stuff is asymmetrical to where it normally is. Because the U.S. federal government is closed and that we don't have the normal cadence of when news and reports are being released from various government agencies of the U.S. federal government, it's one of those weird kind of situations where the Fed is kind of blowing blind, depending on other data points than what they normally have. The Beige Book, their normal guidance that they release every month, is normally done the first week of every month, and they're releasing it, I believe, on Wednesday at 1 p.m., which is right at one haven't been released by the feds yet. There's no one to compile them. check to see what else interesting is going on out there. Interesting enough, we do have a hit on oil because of the trade tension between the United States and China, which is good for us because we do have a sale going on UK oil, which we took yesterday. Silver did hit an all-time high yesterday. That follows up gold crashing past or busting past 4,000 for the first time ever, also to an all-time high. Let's see what else. So there is a kind that Bitcoin has fallen below 112 ahead of the speech by Chairman Powell. And it looks like Vanguard, which is the second largest venture capital firm that does EFTs or ETFs, may finally allow Bitcoin ETFs to be traded on their platform. Just about everyone else has already done so, including Blackstone and Fidelity, but for some reason Vanguard sat it out. That would be some nice liquidity if they did so. And that is the last of interesting news that I see out there on the tickers. Again, we're seeing a slow recovery of Bitcoin price. I knew that was going to happen. We do have a higher low going on. It obviously didn't get down to 102,000. A breakout to the below the Asian range normally means a nice reversal in the prior day. So once U.S. money hits the market after having been on a bank holiday yesterday, we should see a nice rally on Bitcoin. And a much more pronounced one once Powell says whatever the hell he's going to say at 11:20 tomorrow. So once that speech is done, I think we're going to see quite a bounce on Bitcoin to the tune of a couple of thousand points over the next few hours after that, certainly before the end of trading is done at 4 p.m. And of course, you have the reset of the crypto day at 7 p.m., where I expect that rally to continue. So if you did fall for the FOMO and decide to take some sort of a short in the crypto market and you happen to get lucky and make a little bit of change, I highly advise you to take your profit now, because once it makes this change, it's going to be pretty pronounced, and you're not going to have time to get out of those trades before those profits disappear. Good. Got about 14 seconds before the half of the hour. We'll see if we get more opportunities to enter the market. One moment here. It will take trading view about 3 minutes to get through all the assets that we trade. Some of the stuff should be immediate, though. So we should be hearing some dings pretty soon here. A little cold in here, so I'm going to grab myself a blanket. Did not sleep particularly well, so I really want to go to sleep, but I'm going to tough it through. Get some more rest before the New York session. Trust me when I say my pillow was calling me like a siren, telling me, you don't have to get up and go live. You should stay in the bed with me. But I had to get away from Miss Fluffy. Bring my behind on YouTube tonight. So here I am. But I am going back at 4 a.m. You guys are unusually quiet tonight. You can say something if you want to. I can see your comments if you type it in the chat. Let's take a look at these order blocks. Okay. Got a little bit of resistance above price. We're right below a pivot. So it should be interesting. So you can take this off for now. We've kind of been a victim of our own success the last few days. You look at last Thursday, for instance, we went into Friday with 88 open positions. We have 36 now, which means that 52 positions closed would take profit in about a 24-hour period as a result of President Trump's announcement of an additional 100% tariffs on China. So it left us in this kind of weird position where we've taken additional trades, but because the market's been in consolidation or things have kind of moved a little funny, this is kind of the first time we've only won a single trade over a multi-day span, which is fine. We'll get back to it. Most of the remaining trades are on assets that move kind of slowly. So not everything is like crypto, where things can move in a matter of seconds or minutes. Some assets are far less volatile, particularly currency. Mm-hmm. All right, let's see where else we are. Got about 5 minutes to the quarter of the hour. Pretty quiet. Looks like we have take profit on the United States dollar to Singapore dollar. All right. There's a last little vestige from how I used to trade. Close that out. Right on. Got a little less than a minute and a half to a new candle. We got tape profit hit. United States dollar versus Hungarian forint. Let's see what else we get here. Should know in about 2 minutes if we get anything else for 2:45 a.m. If we do not, our next opportunity of the market will be at the top of the hour, 3 a.m. Central Standard Time, which also happens to be the 4-hour candle for the European markets. Well, not Europe, Sydney. Europe is actually at 2 a.m., 6 a.m., and 10 a.m. All right. Seems unlikely we're getting new stuff for 2:45. We'll wait for the top of the hour. So thus far, still 4 calls. Buy on basic attention coin versus Tether. Buy on platinum versus United States dollar. And buy on platinum as a futures. And then buy on the United States dollar versus Swiss franc. So I took a look at all the other major cryptocurrencies. Seems like the same pattern persists across them all. Looks almost exactly the same as the Bitcoin chart, but they break out to the bottom of the Asian range. I think that's going to reverse itself with new liquidity for the U.S. markets. It's going to start at 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. There's some danger when we follow the consolidation after the comments by the chairman of the U.S. Federal Reserve and the governor of the Royal Bank of England. But we'll see. It could be surprising what he may have to say. Then from there, I want to take a look at BTC.D. That's a chart for Bitcoin dominance, the working theory. As price decreases on Bitcoin and Bitcoin dominance decreases at the same time, that means you technically should have an increase of Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Why? Because Ethereum is the primary coin used as gas to purchase altcoins. So the price of Bitcoin declines. At the same time, you have confluence with a fall in Bitcoin dominance. At the same time, you have an increase of ETH or Ethereum versus Bitcoin because Ethereum starts to outperform Bitcoin over time, as it always does in a bull run. And then you start to see a level off in price in Ethereum and a sharp short-term decline in Ethereum as people use Ethereum as gas to purchase altcoins. And that's when the altcoin super cycle starts. So you have a decline in price in Bitcoin. At the same time, you have a decline in Bitcoin dominance. Immediately following, you have an increase in Ethereum versus Bitcoin. Then you have a transfer of assets from Ethereum used as gas to purchase altcoins. And then you have a massive recovery in price of Bitcoin. And as Bitcoin gains liquidity, so does Ethereum, so does Ripple, and it takes the altcoin market along with it. But this time, instead of Bitcoin simply outperforming Ethereum, altcoins outperform everything. We saw this 4 years ago when Shiba Inu famously gained 10.6 million% in value over the course of 4 years. There were multiple coins that did more than 1,000,000% multiplier. We have every belief that this is going to be a much bigger altcoin super cycle because there's so much more money involved because of the allowance of exchange traded funds. It also means that there's a lot more opportunity to lose money because there's more leverage needed. You just have to be careful, research what it is that you're doing, know your risk tolerance regardless of whether you're purchasing the physical coins and are trading, and you should be fine at that point. Take a look at the time. All right, got about 17 seconds to the top of the hour. See if we get some fireworks real quick. Good, it's going to take about 3 minutes for trading view to get through all the assets to be traded. Here we go. And we've got yet another call in the United States dollar versus Swiss franc. This is on the 30-minute confirmation. I'll leave it where it is. Not really what we're looking for. Minute and a half in, about a minute and a half. Determine if we get anything else for 3 a.m. in the morning. If we do not, our next opportunity to enter the market will be at 3:15, the quarter of the hour, Central Standard Time. In case you're wondering, yes, we did have an opportunity to short Bitcoin on the 30-minute. I did not call it. But had I called it, we would have won the trade. All right, good to go. So 3:15 it is. More waiting. Very quiet as we wait. Now under 5 minutes to the quarter of the hour, 3:10 a.m. Central Standard Time. About 2.5 minutes left to go. All right, we're about to hit the quarter of the hour. Again, it's going to take about 3 minutes for trade me to get through all the assets that we trade. Mhm. About another minute. We can call it for 3 o'clock. We're in 3:15. Next opportunity to enter the market will be at 3:30 in the morning Central Standard Time, the half of the hour. All right, so it doesn't look like we're getting anything for 3:15 in the morning. Again, next opportunity into the market will be at 3:30 in the morning sharp, about 11 minutes from now. Hmm. Okay, wait. All right, about 2 minutes left. Holding on, guys. I am sleepy. All right, and just like that, here we go. We've got a buy on platinum versus United States dollar. We're already in that, so we're not going to call it again. Hold on a second. All right, so we're already at 50% on platinum. Let's kick a button taking names. I love it, which means that the futures, same thing. So if you took platinum as a future or as a commodity, congratulations. You can go ahead and move your stop loss to entry price on platinum versus US dollar and take it as a risk-free trade to take profit. That should hit sometime during the New York session for 54,060 pips. In the meantime, it does not appear like we're going to get anything else on the 3:30 time frame. So our next opportunity to enter the market be at 3:45 a.m. That is 12 and a half minutes from now. So slow night, but pretty productive. I mean, we're in profit on all of our trades that we called for tonight. The one on platinum is a nice monster move. I'll take that all day, every day. Oh. Anyway, we got a half hour left. We're going to come back for the New York session at 7:30 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll go to 10 a.m. Central Standard Time for that session. For London, we go from 2 a.m. to 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. If you have not already done so, I do highly encourage you to subscribe to the channel, to like the video, and to turn on those notifications so you can keep abreast of when we do go live in the market. About 5.5 minutes to the quarter of the hour. 3:39 a.m. Central Standard Time. It looks like we are going to get the same play that I predicted about an hour ago on Bitcoin, where price broke out under the bottom of the Asian range. Is going to retrace probably somewhere. Okay, we have futures calls. Me likey. So we've got PL1. Not worried about that. But we've got silver. And we're definitely going to take those. So let's take a look at good old pivots. We're going to take this to 53 even. This is SIL1, which is the macro for silver. And you can find SIL1 on Top Step X. All right, so this is going to be a 15-minute confirmation, market execution buy. Entry price is going to be at 51.154. 145, sorry. Stop loss is going to be at 50.4. That's going to be for 149 pips. Take profit is going to be at 53 even. And that's for 371 pips. And it's going to be a 2.49 risk to reward ratio. And here's the fifth call on the night. It's going to be SIL1. This is a futures 15-minute confirmation, market execution buy. Entry price is 51.145. Stop loss is 50.400 for 149 pips. Take profit is 53.000 for 371 pips. Risk to reward ratio of 2.49. I am going to check silver as a commodity after we call this next futures call, just to make sure that I didn't miss anything. We've got a long on SL1 and take this to 53.045. And you can find these futures calls on Top Step X. All right, this is also going to be a 15-minute confirmation buy. Entry price is 51.050. Stop loss 50.3. It's going to be for 150 pips. Take profit 53.045 for 399 pips. Risk to reward ratio is 2.66. And here's the sixth call of the night. It's going to be SI1, 15-minute confirmation. Market execution buy. Entry price is 51.050. The stop loss is 53.3 even for 150 pips. Take profit is 53.045 for 399 pips. risk to reward ratio of 2.66. Take a look on silver on the 15-minute confirmation. Super shock, this also has not been called. But it's because the 13 is over the 5. So I think we're probably going to get silver as a commodity here soon. Let's just give it time. We need that EMA cross first. In the meantime, we'll go back to looking at Bitcoin in the 15-minute as we continue this recovery for the breakout to the bottom of the Asian range, recovering price back into the Asian range. It's probably going to erase the loss for the day, about 3,000 points, get you to about 1,014 and change ahead of the New York Exchange, in which case you should get a bit of a buy rally that explodes above the Asian range for the day and continues the rally to 125 plus. Good stuff. So we have the announcement of President Trump of an additional 100% tariffs on China for all goods that tanked Bitcoin to 102,000 even, recovered all the way up to about 118,000, then retraced down to 111,000 and change, and is now recovering again. So if you're familiar with Elliott waves, this would be the second wave as we begin our climb, hopefully, to break past the all-time high just above $126,000. If I remember correctly, it's $126,199. It's the all-time high for Bitcoin. Yep. But definitely the big lick of the night is the call on platinum. We're now 25,000 plus pips into profit. Monster move. I'm glad we caught it. If you haven't seen this bad boy, I'll show it to you now. It is quite nice. That was only 30-minute confirmation. Correction, 27,000 pips in profit. Also, platinum is much more heavily weighted than a regular pair. So 0.001 is the same as a 0.10 on a Forex currency. Means it's scoring $1 per point. So if you put 0.01 on platinum and you're in the trade, you should be up about $2,700 per 0.01. If you were hyper aggressive on this and just over leveraged yourself, great. Take your profit or partial profit, reduce your position down to 0.01, take the win. Don't be too greedy on this. People tend to follow my trades and they get FOMO when they get a move like this. Don't do that. You never want to over leverage. It doesn't matter how often we win. You keep yourself away from bad habits. As you grow your account, you grow your risk, not the other way around. It'll keep you compounding, and it's essentially the same amount of effort required to take a trade. And you just grow and grow and grow. You break out of that habit as a relatively new trader or as a trader who's been trading forever, but still has this bad habit of over leveraging. Let's just say it's going to be a nice little move for you. Just don't over leverage. Grow your account the right way. Slow and steady wins the race. If you do that, the type of withdrawals you're able to take every week are going to be quite substantive. And you're going to be happy about it. This isn't a get rich quick scheme. This isn't gambling. It is a real skill. You know what you're looking for, you can be pretty good at it. I can remember a time where I would have been scared to death to take a trade on platinum. I don't care what the asset is now. I know precisely what it is that I'm looking for to enter a trade. And I only enter when those things are present. I pair that with proper risk management, which means I only enter trades where the risk to reward ratio is greater than 2-to-1. And what that means is mathematically, I could lose 2/3 of every trade that I take and still profit. Just so happens that we win much more than that. So you kind of do the math and you figure out if you consistently take the trades, you're using your stop losses, you're entering with proper risk management, and you're taking high quality trades, you're going to profit over time. You don't even have to be a winning trader to do that. But you do have to be consistent. I know more than a dozen traders myself who really have never won more than 30% of their trades. But because of the risk to reward ratio they take, they're still profitable every week. It's nice to know a bunch of strategies, indicators, and get yourself a set of confirmations you trust and stick with it. If you're a relatively new trader or you're a trader that historically has not had a lot of success, what I would recommend doing is find a single pair or a single asset and trade only that asset. Because once you see it, i.e., the momentum and the direction of a trade, you won't unsee it. And then you'll see it in other pairs. So just to give you kind of a crash dummy course, this is platinum versus USD. There are a number of colored lines that are on my chart. The ones to pay attention to in terms of direction are the aqua line, which is the 50 EMA, the gray line, the 200 EMA, and the blue line, which is the 800 EMA. I do this every Sunday morning before the markets. I go in and I look at the 4-hour, to see if the aqua is on the top, the gray is in the middle, and the blue is on the bottom. Then I drop down to the 1 hour and I see if there's confluence, i.e. the same thing. Aqua on the top, gray in the middle, blue on the bottom. That confirms to me that on a long time frame, this pair is in an uptrend. What that means is I'm only going to take buys on platinum versus USD all week. What happened? We got a call in the 30-minute on a buy. We entered the trade immediately, and we're already 30,000 pips in profit. Now, mind you, I do this on every single one of the pairs that we trade. So, for instance, we have sales on oil this week. We're long on all crypto. I have sales for several Forex pairs. We have sales for a couple of exotics. We're long on all indices. I have sales on several futures. Conversely, for buys, got buys on all precious metals. So if it calls a signal and it's a buy, we're taking it. Right now, we're waiting on a buy signal to come out for silver. Why? Because we just got a buy signal on the 2 silver futures. We have a buy on all 118 crypto perpetual trades that we trade. We have a buy on all the crypto spot currencies. We have a buy on several Forex pairs. We have a buy on one exotic currency. We have a buy on all indices. And we have a buy on several futures. So what I'm looking for after I develop my buy and sell list for the week are alerts that come out on the 15-minute, the 30-minute, the 1 hour, the 2 hour, the 4 hour, the daily, the weekly, the 1 month, the 3 month, and the 6 month on 328 assets across multiple asset classes. And I'm only taking it if it appears in the buy and sell list. We get an alert. I check to see if it's on a buy or sell. If it's there, we take the trade over and over and over and over again. And the result of that is that since February the 3rd of this year, we're at 858 wins versus 653 losses for a win rate percentage of 56.78%. The number of pips won being 3,323,720 pips. Now, mind you, I did not trade until February the 3rd of this year, and I've taken about 6 weeks off from trading. To put this in perspective, I basically did not take a break. Well, actually, I did take a break. I had to take a kind of 4.5 month hiatus from trading because I had a massive heart attack and a stroke and quadruple bypass surgery last August. But the year before that, which was 2023, I didn't take a break at all in trading. Every day I traded, and we cracked 10 million pips for the year. So it's very possible to have massive success if you're consistent and you have a system that works. All right, so we're almost at 4 a.m. Central Standard Time. It's normally when we end the live. So we're going to see whether or not we get any calls. We're certainly going to call those out. And then we're going to end the session. And I'll see you guys again at 7:30 a.m. in the morning for London. That's a couple hours from that. If you haven't already done so, I would appreciate your support. Certainly subscribe to the channel. Like the video and turn on all notifications to keep abreast of what we're doing live in the market. I am the Pit Messiah, your host for the Quiet Storm. This is October the 14th. We go live for the London session from 2 a.m. in the morning until 4 a.m. in the morning. And then we turn around and go live from 7:30 in the morning to 10 a.m. in the morning for New York. Now, we have a call on LA versus Tether. This is a short on crypto. We're not taking that. But we do have a buy on palladium. Palladium is another precious metal. And guess what? We are taking it. So let's go ahead and crack open pivots. Looks like we're going to take this to 1591.96. $1591.96. And yes, you're reading that right. That's for 62,000 pips. I expect we're going to get the same nice big move that we've gotten on platinum. So let's go ahead and call this out now. It's going to be a red trade. That means it is the second most risky trade type that I do call. Don't over leverage on this. Palladium is just like platinum. It is 10x weighted to a Forex currency, which means that you can take 0.01 and still get $1 per point off of this. That means that if you're doing 0.01 and you have a broker that's worth a damn, you're still going to make a whopping $6,200 off of this trade. Now, this is going to be for a 3.09 risk to reward ratio. This is the market execution buy. Entry price is 1529.492. Stop loss is 1509.272. That's for 20,220 pips. And then take profit is 1591.96. That's for 62,468 pips. You'll find this particular asset on Liquid Brokers and at LHFX. Both of those brokers are in the description to this video. Again, I caution you, take this at 0.01. Once it gets to 50% towards take profit, move your stop loss to entry price to make it a risk-free trade. If you do get FOMO and you decide you want to enter this with more than 0.01, if you get a bunch of money in profit, take a partial close and reduce your exposure to 0.01. Take the win and just let this ride as a regular trade. I really don't encourage over leveraging. It's a stupid idea. It does not matter that I win very often. Just don't do it. At any rate, here is the call. XPD USD Palladium versus the United States dollar. 15-minute confirmation market execution buy. The entry price is 1,529.492. The stop loss is 1,509.272 for 20,220 pips. The take profit is 1,591.960 for 62,468 pips and a risk to reward ratio of 3.09. Again, I am the Pit Messiah, your host for the London session for October the 14th, 2025. I'll see you guys in a couple hours for the New York session if you want to join me there. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Like the video, turn on those notifications. I appreciate your support and for rocking with me for the night. And congratulations in advance on the profit from those trades. Cheers.